Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajbanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 8th. So students, in today's video we will start reading with our next chapter from the book Honeydew. That is the last chapter from our book. This is chapter number 10 and the name of the chapter is The Great Stone Face Part 2. So the chapter that we have read in 9th lesson, so the same chapter continues here as chapter number 10. Okay, so till now we have read about Ernst, about his fascination towards the great stone face and about his belief that one day there will be one man who will have the exact resemblance with the great stone face, right? And till now the entire people of the valley, they were having two people as the man of prophecy. First of all, Gathergold was there and he was very rich. He was a very skillful merchant and he earned a lot of money. So first of all the people regarded Gathergold to be the man of prophecy. And next they were having one commander that is having a name as Blood and Thunder, and yes, he was very brave and he fought so many fights in a very brave manner, and he is a very famous, very renowned general. So now all the people believe that yes, he is the man of prophecy, but still Ernst, he is totally unable to have any kind of likeness, any kind of resemblance, and still Ernst is waiting for the man of prophecy. Still he is waiting for the person who will have the likeness, who will have the resemblance with the great stone face. Okay, so now we will continue the chapter. So let's start. Before you read, so let's see. Many years passed. Ernst was now a man of middle age. So now after that incident, again the time was passing. So many years actually passed, and Ernst now he was a man of middle age. To his neighbors, who never suspected that he was anything more than an ordinary and familiar face, he was only a humble and hardworking, though thoughtful person. And now when Ernst, when he was growing, so now what kind of person he is? So although we can say all the neighbors, or we can say all the inhabitants, all the citizens of that valley, and they never suspected that he means Ernst. So Ernst was anything more than an ordinary and familiar face. So this thing we have discussed in the previous chapter also, that for all the citizens Ernst was a very common, a very ordinary person. Okay, and he was, yes, at the same time very humble, very hardworking and very thoughtful person. But what about the old prophecy? Was it ever fulfilled? Let us read and find out. So still the questions that we are having. So the first question is that what about the old prophecy, or we can say what about the story, what about the man of prophecy, and was it ever fulfilled? Okay, so क्या वो prophecy कभी भी सही साबित होगी, क्या वो कभी भी true prove होगी? So this is the question, and yes, we will have our answer in the chapter. So just read the chapter and find the answer. Okay, so now let's begin our today's video. Let's continue the chapter. The years hurried on and brought white hairs upon the head of Ernst and made wrinkles across his forehead and furrows in his cheeks. He was an old man. Okay, so now because time is passing on and so many years they are passing on, and Ernst, who was in his young age, or we can say he was as a young man, but now with the passing of the time he is in his old age now, and now he was having white hairs, okay, upon the head of himself, and now he was having some wrinkles that were there across his forehead and furrows in his cheeks. So let's see the meaning of furrows. Furrows means, we can say, deep lines. So all these lines are the indication of this thing, that now Ernst, he was growing old, now he was in his old age. Okay, so why, how we can so first of all he was having white hairs, second he was having wrinkles, and third he was having furrows, or again we can say some deep lines that were there in his cheeks. So now we can say that he was in his old age and now he was the old man. So now we can say that we have seen the journey of Ernst, from a small boy to the old man, because in the previous video we have read that when he was a small boy and At that time he heard about this prophecy, at that time he heard about this story that his mother told him, right? And when he was in his young age, at that time, you know, Mr. Gathergold was there, or second the commander, that is Blood and Thunder, he was there. And now finally Ernst, he is in his old age and still he is waiting for that man of prophecy. But not in vain had he grown old. More numerous than the white hairs on his head were the wise thoughts in his mind. So now the writer is writing this thing that yes, Ernst, he was growing old. Yes, Ernst, now he was, you know, in his old age. But not in vain had he grown old. It means, you know, yes, he was now a old person. But this was not in vain. In vain means we can say कि वो जिस तरह से ओल्ड हो रहा था, सो उसका जो ओल्ड एज में टर्न होना था वो वेस्ट नहीं गया था. दैट वॉज नॉट इन वेन. हाउ वी कैन से सो? बिकॉज नेक्स्ट द राइटर इज राइटिंग दिस थिंग दैट मोर न्यूमरस देन द वाइट हेयर्स ऑन हिज हेड वर द वाइज थॉट्स इन हिज माइंड. इट मीन्स with the passing of the time, or we can say with the passing of his years, now he was a person who was having more experience, who was having more wise thoughts, or we can say who was having more wisdom, more knowledge, more experience. So yes, now he was the old person. He was having so many white hairs on his forehead, but comparatively to those white hairs, he was having more wise thoughts were in his mind. Okay, so this is the reason that the writer is writing this thing that yes, he was the old person now, but you know वो जो old age में turn हो रहा था, that was not at all in waste, that was not at all in vain. But with the passing of the time, you know, he was having a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and at the same time a lot of wisdom, and his mind was full of wise thoughts. And Ernst had ceased to be obscure. So what it means? So first of all, let's see the meanings. Ceased means to stop, and obscure means someone who is not well known. So here we are having the line that Ernst finally he had ceased to be obscure. It means finally he had stopped what? To be a person who is not at all well known. So what it means? It means that now Ernst he was a very well known person. Now Ernst he was, we can say, very famous, very renowned person, right? Because here writer is writing this thing that now he has stopped to be a person who is not well known. So what it means? It means that now he was a well known person. Now Ernst he was a very famous, very renowned person. And why he was famous? He was famous because of his wisdom, because of you know, the wise thoughts that he was having. Unsought for, undesired, had come the fame which so many seek. And now Ernst he was having fame. Why? Because he was a famous person. So yes, he was earning name and fame, and this fame and name, or we can say ये जो popularity थी that now he was having, this was totally unsought for. Unsought for means not requested, or we can say not searched for. So here the writer is trying to say that never ever in his life Ernst he wanted this popularity, never ever he wanted to be a famous man, and never ever he tried to be, we can say, one of the celebrity, to be a famous person. But yes, now he was a very famous, very renowned person. Now he was having a lot of name and fame, and this popularity, this fame was never ever sought for, never ever requested, or we can say demanded for, and never ever this fame was desired for. So yes, this fame was unsought, this fame was undesired. But yes, now Ernst he was enjoying this name and fame, or we can say he was having this name and fame which so many seek. And this position, or we can say to be a very famous person, this is something that there are so many person who actually want this thing in their life. Okay, but in Ernst's case, never ever he wanted this popularity, never ever he desired for this popularity, but now he was having. And this popularity is something that there are so many people who actually want to have such kind of popularity. he had become famous beyond the limits of the valley. So yes, Ernst, now he was a very famous, now he was a very renowned person. He was just like one of the celebrity, and he was famous beyond the limits of the valley. It means, you know, his popularity was there not only in the valley, not only in that village, but beyond the boundary of the valleys, beyond the limits of the valleys. There were so many people who knew about Ernst, who were very much impressed, you know, with the wisdom, or we can say with the wise thoughts of Ernst. It means, yes, Ernst, he was a very famous person not only in that village, but you know, beyond the boundary of that valley also. College professors and even the active men of cities came from far to see and converse with Ernst, and he received them with gentle sincerity and spoke freely with them of whatever came uppermost or lay deepest in his heart or thereon. So you know, we have read that he was very famous, very renowned person, and not only in that valley, not only in that village, but you know, beyond the boundary, beyond the limits of that valley also. So who are the people who were actually, you know, attracted to with the wisdom of Ernst? So there were so many college professors, and even there were so many active men of cities. So now here we can imagine that yes, really he was a very famous person, because college professors, okay, and college professor, obviously they are very learned, they are very educated person, and active men of cities, okay. So it means, you know, we can say जो modern people हैं, जो बहुत ज़्यादा sophisticated people हैं, the people who are having all the, we can say, so called wisdom, who are, you know, educated and well learned person. So all those people, all such kind of people came from far. Why? Just to see and converse with Ernst. Converse means to talk, okay. So yes, there were some college professors and some active persons of cities who just came to that valley. Why? Because they just want to have some talk with Ernst, and he received them with gentle sincerity. And whenever Ernst, he was having such a guest, you know, so yeah, it means whenever he is having some college professors or some active men from the cities who just wanted to have one talk with him, so every time Ernst, he used to receive them with gentle sincerity, and he used to speak freely with them of whatever came uppermost or lay deepest in his heart or thereon, okay. So whatever thoughts he was having in his mind, in his heart, so he just you know, used to speak in a very free manner with all those people who just came to converse with him. While they talked together, his face would brighten unawares and shine upon them as with a mild evening light. And when such conversation was going on, when Ernst, he was having a talk with all the people who were there, right? So at that time when they were talking, so you know, the face of Ernst, it would brighten. There was one kind of light, there was one kind of glow, one kind of shine was there on the face of Ernst. Unawares means unknowingly. It means, you know, Ernst, he was totally unaware about that glow. He was totally unaware about that shine that was there, you know, on his face when he was talking. And you know, this was the shine as with a mild evening light, okay. So yes, he was having a glow. Why this glow was there on his face? Because really he was a very learned person, and in the previous chapter we have read this thing, that never ever he went to a school, okay. But who was his teacher? The great stone face was his teacher. And now Ernst, who was a very humble, hardworking, and we can say a very wise person. Why? Just because of the great stone face. So now whenever Ernst, he was having one conversation, whenever he was talking with all the people, so at that time he was having the glow, at that time he was having the shine on his face, as if you know, there was some mild evening light. While Ernst had been growing old, God had granted a new poet to this earth. So now we are having one more character in this story. So the writer is writing that while Ernst, when he was growing old, because now we have discussed this thing that now Ernst, he was an old person. So when he was growing a old person, so at that time God had granted a new poet to this earth. So at that time one new poet was there, at that time one new poet emerges there, right? He too was a native of the valley, but had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities, pouring out his sweet music everywhere. He means the new poet. Okay, so this new poet, he was also the native of that valley. It means ये जो poet है, इसका birth भी कहाँ हुआ था? उसी valley में, उसी village में हुआ था. But this poet had spent the greater part of his life in distant cities. Okay, so yes, उसका बर्थ वैली में हुआ था, बट आफ्टर दैट ही स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम ऑफ हिज लाइफ outside, or we can say in the different city areas, and everywhere he was pouring out his sweet music. Okay, so whenever he is in whichever city he is, so everywhere he was just pouring out his thoughts. Okay, why? Because he is a poet. और poet क्या करते हैं? They just write poems, they just sing poems. Okay, so with the help of his poems he was pouring out his thoughts, he was pouring out his music. Neither was the great stone face forgotten, for the poet had celebrated it in a poem. And at that time also the great stone face, it was not at all forgotten. Why? Because this poet, he had celebrated, it means the story of great stone face in one of his poem. It means this poet, he was also aware about the great stone face. He was also aware about the prophecy, the story that is related with the great stone face. So now this poet, in one of his poem, he also celebrated this story, this prophecy. So yes, the story of great stone face, it was not at all forgotten. Okay, the songs of this poet found their way to Ernst. And now this poet, as we have read earlier, that he was outside from valley, he was in one of the city, but now he was also a very famous poet. And now gradually all his poems, they reached to Ernst also. Okay, and especially that poem in which he celebrated the great stone face, in which he wrote about the great stone face. So now Ernst, he also used to read those poems. Now Ernst, he also knew about that poet and about his poems. He read them after his customary toil, seated on the bench before his cottage door. So he means Ernst. So now Ernst was also having the poems that were written by this poet. So now Ernst, he used to read all his poems after his customary toil. So let's see the meaning. Toil is hard work and customary means usual. Okay, or we can say the daily. So जो daily का hard work, जो daily का labor Ernst को करना होता था, so after that hard work he used to read those poems where when he was sitting on the bench before his cottage door. Okay, so every day after completing his day labor, after completing his the entire work of the day, he just sat on the bench that is there before his cottage door, and at that time he used to read all the poems that were written by this poet. As he read, he lifted his eyes to the mountain, and when he was at the time when he was reading the poem, so at that time he also lifted his eyes. Why? Because he just want to see the mountain, because he just wanted to see the great stone face. And we have read this thing earlier also in the previous chapter, that from their cottage door the great stone face, it was very clearly visible. So now when Ernst, he was sitting outside the cottage door, so at that time he was reading the poems, and in between he just raised his eyes just to see the great stone face. "Oh great stone face," he said, "is not this man worthy to be your likeness?" So when finally Ernst he was able to read the poems, he was having the poetry of that poet. So Ernst was very much attracted. He was very much interested, in those poems and in this poet also. So one day he said that, "Oh great stone face, is not this man. This man is the poet." So he's talking about the poet here, and he asked this question to the great stone face that this poet is very much worthy. Worthy means he is actually able to be your likeness, because he is a very famous poet and his poems are very good. He is a very good writer. He is a very good poet. So definitely this is the person who is able, who is worthy to be your likeness. He is the person who is able to be the man of prophecy. Okay, so now Ernst he is actually having this kind of belief that maybe this poet is the man of prophecy. Maybe this poet is the person who is the man who will finally make this prophecy come true, who will finally be the person who is having the likeness, who is having the resemblance with the great stone face. The face seemed to smile but did not answer. So when Ernst he was having this question, when he asked this question to great stone face, so at that time the great stone face, it seemed to smile but never ever it have any answer. Okay, so उस टाइम Ernst को लगता था कि वो स्माइल तो कर रहा है but वो आंसर नहीं दे रहा. It was saying neither yes nor no. Now it happened that the poet, though he lived so far away, had not only heard of Ernst but had thought much about his character and wished to meet this man whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. So now the situation is that this poet, although he lived so far away, as we have read that this poet he used to live in distant cities. So now because of this thing that he was very far away from that valley, still he not only heard of Ernst but also he was he had thought about the character of Ernst. Why? And now he actually wanted to meet with this man whose wisdom walked hand in hand. Hand in hand means together with the noble simplicity of his life. So what it means? It means that one side there is Ernst who was reading the poetry of this poet, and he is actually very much interested, or we can say he is very much attracted towards the poet and his poems, and he is having this kind of desire, or we can say this kind of hope that maybe he is the man of prophecy, right? And now on the other side this poet is there, and although he lived was so far away in a city, but still there also he heard about Ernst. How? Because in the previous slides we have discussed this thing that there were so many college professors and so many men of the cities who knew Ernst, who were very much attracted with the wisdom of Ernst. So this poet also heard about Ernst, and now he was very much fascinated with the character of Ernst, and now he actually wanted, now actually he was having the wish to meet with Ernst. Okay, because he wanted to meet a person whose wisdom walked hand in hand with the noble simplicity of his life. It means he just wanted to meet a person who is a wise person and at the same time who is a very simple person. So yes, these are the characteristics of Ernst. These are the qualities that Ernst was having, that yes, he was a very wise person, he was having the wise thoughts, but at the same time he was very humble, he was very polite, and he was full of kindness, full of love, full of affection. He was having a very simple life. So this poet, he heard all these things about Ernst. So now this poet also having this wish to meet with Ernst. Okay, and Ernst is there who was actually having this hope that maybe this poet is the man of prophecy. One summer day, therefore, he arrived at Ernst's door, where he found the good old man holding a book in his hand, which he read, and then, with a finger between the leaves, looked lovingly at the great stone face. So now finally, one summer day, he arrived. He means the poet. So yes, this poet actually having this strong desire to meet with Ernst. Therefore, one summer day, this poet finally he arrived where at Ernst's door. Okay, so now he was there to meet with Ernst. So finally he arrived at the cottage of Ernst, and what did he see there? So he found the good old man. Good old man means Ernst. So he found that Ernst was holding one book in his hand, and he was reading this book, and then with a finger between the leaves, he just looked lovingly at the great stone face. So this was the the usual thing that Ernst he used to do, that every day after completing his day labor, he just used to sit outside his cottage door, and he used to read the poems that were written by this poet only, and at the same time in between he used to look towards the great stone face. Okay, so this day also he was doing the same thing. At that time, this poet he reached there. So yes, he found Ernst there. He found that good old man there who was sitting, who was reading a book, and then finally with a finger between the leaves. So what it means? It means in this picture you all can see, जब हम कोई बुक पढ़ते हैं और हमें उस बुक को थोड़े टाइम के लिए हम उसको बंद करते हैं, लेकिन सिर्फ थोड़े टाइम के लिए, और जब वापस हम उस बुक को हम खोलेंगे, सो हम चाहते हैं हम उसी पेज से स्टार्ट करें, राइट? सो फॉर डैट हम क्या करते हैं, हम इस तरह से एक फिंगर उस बुक के बीच में रख देते हैं, और उस बुक को हम बंद कर देते हैं, और वापस जब हम खोलते हैं तो उसी पेज से फिर हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. ओके, सो हियर लीव्स मीन्स द पेजेस ऑफ द बुक. ओके, सो अर्स्ट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल he was reading the book, then he put one finger between the leaves, between the pages. Why? Because now he was looking at the great stone face in a very loving manner. Okay. Good evening, said the poet. Can you give a traveler a night's shelter? So now finally the traveler is there. Now finally this meeting is there. The meeting of this traveler, or we can say the poet with Ernst, that is the good old man. So finally the poet, so first of all he wished good evening. Then he asked that can you give a traveler a night's shelter? Gladly, answered Ernst, and then he added, smiling, I think I never saw the great stone face look so hospitably at a stranger. So Ernst, who is very Ernst, who is full of love, full of affection, who is very humble, very kind. So what was the answer of Ernst? He answered that gladly. It means he said that yes, I will be happy, I will be very glad to give you a night's shelter. And then he added, and now Ernst he was smiling, and he added this thing that I think I never saw the great stone face look so hospitably at a stranger. So let's see the meaning. What hospitably means? It means kindly. So now Ernst he saw that yes, I will be very happy, I will be very glad to give you a nice shelter at my house. But he was having this thing also, he added this thing also, that never ever I saw the great stone face to have this kind look at a stranger. The poet sat down beside him, and he and Ernst talked together. So now finally the poet he sat down beside him, he sat down near him, and now he and Ernst means now the poet and Ernst, now they were talking together, now they were having one conversation. Never before had the poet talked with a man like Ernst, so wise and gentle and kind. So yes, the poet he was very much impressed when he was talking with Ernst. Why? Because never ever he was having this opportunity, never ever he was having this chance to meet with a person who is so wise and at the same time who is so gentle and so kind. Ernst on the other hand was moved by the living images flung out of the poet's mind. So yes, the poet was very much impressed with Ernst because Ernst was having so wise thoughts and at the same time he was so gentle, so simple, so humble. And on the other side, Ernst, he was also moved by the poet. He was also very much impressed, very much touched by the poet. Why? Because of the living images that flung out of the poet's mind. So जो poets होते हैं उनका जो mind होता है वो कैसा होता है? That is very much creative. So now the poet was there, and when he was having this conversation, so he was able to explain so many living images, so many living things. Okay, so with the with this quality, this person, that is Ernst, he was very much impressed with the poet. So here we can say that when the poet and Ernst, they were having this conversation, they were finally having this meeting, so both the person, they were very much impressed with each other. Okay, Ernst was very much impressed with the creative mind of the poet, and the poet was very much impressed with Ernst because of his simplicity, because of his wisdom. Okay, so now what will happen next? And Ernst, who is having this hope that this poet, maybe the man of prophecy, so उसकी जो hope है, क्या ये पूरी हो पाती है, और ये जो prophecy है क्या ये कभी fulfill हो पाती है? That we will come to know in the next video. See you in the next video. Thank you.